I couldn't help but say to him, just think how easy his task and mine might be in these meetings that we held if suddenly there was a threat to this world from some other species, from another planet, outside in the universe. We'd forget all the little local differences that we have between our countries, and we would find out once and for all that we really are all human beings here on this earth together.
Think of how all the differences among people on Earth would seem small if we felt threatened by a space invader. That's the whole theory of independence.
You're right.
Everybody gets together and makes nice, and, you know.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
But what if there was some sort of outer space crisis? An alien invasion sounds crazy, perhaps, but then who thought we'd ever see the stock market swing 5% a day all week long?
But scientists say something strange keeps getting in between the telescope and the star. They can't figure out what it is.
If I was president, that's the first thing I do. I go right into those files and see what was going on.
Right.
And he said that he did do that.
Yes.
And that he didn't find anything.
Well, I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah, why not?
Right? And you know, there's a new name. It's unexplained aerial phenomenon.
Recent comments on opening up the X-Files and the mysterious Area 51 have some calling this politician the E.T. candidate. Here's ABC's David Wright.
Talking, of course, about the top secret files on whether space aliens are real. Recently, when UFOs came up on Jimmy Kimmel, she corrected his terminology.
And you know, there's a new name. It's unexplained aerial phenomenon.
Professor, welcome. The biggest question before we get any invasion is...
Colleen Thomas is a home health administrator turned physicist who specializes in the science of creation. And she's the mother of a race of good aliens here on Earth called Pleiadians.
The aliens won't let it happen. You reveal all their secrets. They exercise strict control over us.
You know, what happens if we do encounter a hostile advanced civilization in space? And Hollywood gets it all wrong. Hollywood assumes that the aliens are maybe 100 years more advanced than us, and if only we had a secret weapon, we can defeat the aliens. Wrong. They can have weapons that we can't even conceive of.
Oh no, and this could be the biggest story of the past 500 years. Bigger than the discovery of America by Columbus, or it could be the biggest wild goose chase since the Loch Ness Monster.
I like to call it KIC, but it's KIC 8462852. That's its official name. The Kepler Space Telescope is out there.
Maybe it's not as far-fetched as it sounds. If aliens invaded, who would step up to lead us in that fight, and could we even win? So then how would we, I know it sounds implausible, but if something like this were to happen, how would we defend ourselves as a planet?
If we discovered that space aliens were planning to attack, and we needed a massive buildup to counter the space alien threat, and really inflation and budget deficits took secondary place to that, this slump would be over in 18 months. And then if we discovered, whoops, we made a mistake, there aren't actually any space
So we need
aliens,
Orson
we'd be a
Welles,
better,
is what you're saying.
No, there was a Twilight Zone episode like this in which scientists fake an alien threat in order to achieve world peace. Well, this time we don't need it. We need it in order to get some fiscal stimulus.
We as human beings just not ready for that?
Well, if you go down a country road and see an anthill, do you go down to the ants and say, I bring you trinkets, I bring you beads, I give you nuclear energy, take me to your ant queen? Or you have this politically incorrect urge to step on a few of them.
Yeah, right. That's a very good point.
And we look for more close encounters on the campaign trail.
Or if they do invade, it'll be more like Bambi versus Godzilla.
All right, but my proposal, I actually have a serious proposal, which is that we have to get a bunch of scientists to tell us that we're facing a threatened alien invasion. And in order to be prepared for that alien invasion, we have to do things like build high-speed rail and then once we've recovered, we can say, look, there were no aliens. But look, I mean, whatever it takes, because right now we need somebody to spend, and that somebody has to be the U.S. government.
That's that side. Let's hear from Martha Laffer.
Might be able to support some form of life. So, it makes it increasingly less likely that we're alone.
Oh, you're trying to give me a hint that there are aliens. Oh.
But if we were visited someday, I wouldn't be surprised. I just hope that it's not like Independence Day.
Yeah, right.
That it's a conflict.
Well, now we have friendly
Maybe the only way to unite this incredibly divided world of ours.
And maybe it also inspired him to fantasize, as he did last year, about an otherworldly stimulus strategy.
There was a Twilight Zone episode like this in which scientists fake an alien threat in order to achieve world peace. Well, this time we don't need it. We need it in order to get some fiscal stimulus. And then after we're fully recovered, we can say, whoops, sorry, not actually coming.
A joke, but with a parallel to the economics of World War II.
We're talking about what is called a Type 2 civilization that could build a gigantic sphere, perhaps bigger than Jupiter, to absorb starlight. And this, of course, is right out of science fiction, but here we are staring at it, and we have no logical explanation other than to assume that perhaps, just perhaps, it's made by a civilization a few thousand years more advanced than ours, like the Federation of Planets.
Wait.
Because President Clinton said he did go right in, and he did check, and there was nothing.
Well, that's what we're instructed to say.
All right. Very hard to dismiss the handful of sightings. One over Alaska, another over Belgium, another over Iran. The handful of things that still cannot be explained defy known laws of physics.
So then, by that definition, does this confirm the existence of life on other planets, in your opinion?
It was I got in my ear, as it were, as I was sleeping, that it was a missile fire, President Obama trying to start a war with Iran. The Pleiadians downed the missile harmlessly at sea, and then last night from San Diego, our government fired another ICBM at the Pleiadians.
This story could be as big as the discovery of the wheel.
What?
The invention of fire.
What?
But we're not likely to have a credible alien threat anytime soon.
I probably shouldn't have said anything about this because I gave the game away. So, yeah, I should probably have broached the thing quietly to some people at NASA.
But a megastructure perhaps bigger than a planet that's controlled by an intelligence. Or the story could be a dud. If you're a conspiracy theorist, you would say that when the aliens figured out that we're on to them, they crippled our telescope so we can't get any more information.
Okay, could it be an alien superstructure?
That's what we're speculating. We've ruled out all the usual suspects: rogue planets, comets, asteroids. What's left but Star Trek?
Oh, it's so exciting. Mitchio, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, my pleasure. Well, next we're going to focus our radio telescope to see whether we can eavesdrop on their I Love Lucy. Maybe they too have, Leave It to Beaver and TV shows like that.
To listen in on their I Love Lucy and their Leave It to Beaver.
Yeah.
That is their television and radio.
Oh, it's so exciting.
The Pleiadian ships are able to change density and do all kinds of things that these guys on this planet have never imagined. And a rocket could pass right through them and not harm them. And plus they can outrun it too if they wanted to just get out of the way. But it's really kind of silly to think that we can take on a race that's been around for many, many, many millions of eons longer than the reptilians.
Oh, it's so exciting.
We can defeat the aliens. Wrong.
Oh, it's so exciting.